When light walks away from the heart, and a person forgets even the shadow he lives with, mercy begins to search for a path like a wandering soul. This story is not only of an old mother, but of every heart rejected by its own blood. I, Jesus, am about to tell you a journey where a mother's tear reached the heavens, and supreme mercy spoke through her sobs. The story begins on an evening where loneliness was crying in the shade of trees, and a broken mother was holding the last breath of hope. The same sun for whom she sacrificed her light became her darkness. But remember, when humans turn cruel, the road to the heavens never closes. Now listen, because this is not just a story. It is an answer for those hearts that still know how to pray, even in pain. It was a gloomy evening. Beneath the shadow of the trees, an old woman sat trembling, her ragged breaths filling the still air. One of her eyes was gone, and the other barely made out a blurred world. She was the mother who had raised her son with her sweat, her blood, and endless devotion. Yet today, that very son had forced her to wander from place to place, facing the harsh blows of life. Clutching a small bottle of milk given by a passing traveler, she tried to drink, but her hands shook so violently that the milk spilled. Suddenly, from the nearby bushes, a rustling sound made her heart race. She froze, eyes wide. Out of the shadows slithered a wounded snake, its body marked with deep cuts, clearly having escaped some cruel fate. A yogi followed, playing his flute, chasing the snake. But by the mercy of Gretchen, the snake escaped and sought refuge in the old woman's tattered shawl. Her chest heaved, fear and awe mixed. And then, the impossible happened. The snake spoke. "Mother, fear not. I mean no harm. My enemy pursues me, and I am wounded. Please, give me shelter." The old woman's tears fell freely. Her heart melted. She had never expected such a miracle. Hidden within the folds of her shawl, the snake whispered, "You have saved me. I will never forget this. But why do you cry? How may I help you?" The woman, shaking, recounted her painful story. She told of the day her husband died while she was carrying her child. Left alone, she was cast out by her in-laws, forced to endure the harshness of the world. By the grace of some distant kindness, she found work in a wealthy household, receiving a small shelter to protect her from the elements. Time passed, and Gretchen blessed her with a child. A son, her heart's joy, her guiding light. But life's cruelty was relentless. One stormy evening, while returning from work with her child, a falling tree struck him, leaving him blind. Time passed. The son left home for days at a time, his behavior worsening. He married a woman who treated her cruelly. The old woman continued to care for the household, for the new family, enduring insults and harshness. When the wife gave birth, the children would mysteriously vanish at night, only to be returned unharmed, always under the care of the magical snake, who spoke to her as though he were a son, born of loyalty, not blood. The snake explained, "Mother, I am here to protect them. Though the world may not understand, they are safe." The woman, though fearful, began to see the grace of Gretchen in these mysterious events. Night after night, the snake would guard the children, taking the risk upon himself, teaching the family lessons of humility, compassion, and patience. Conflict and sorrow continued. The son, now grown, would often threaten harm, only to be stopped by unseen forces, an echo of Jesus' compassion or Gretchen's mercy. The woman prayed silently, finding hope in the protection surrounding her children, though she remained fearful for their safety. Through these trials, the story reveals a deeper truth. Even when human hearts are cruel or lost, acts of selfless love, guided by Gretchen's mercy, can transform lives. The old woman, though battered and weeping, becomes a symbol of endurance and hope. Children's laughter eventually filled the shelter, softening the hearts of those who had been harsh. Even the son, witnessing miracles he could not comprehend, began to understand the weight of compassion, the cost of neglect, and the boundless power of forgiveness. As the snake spoke softly in the twilight, remember, love and mercy are stronger than cruelty and vengeance. When hearts open to these truths, nothing is lost. The woman's heart swelled with relief. The shadow of despair lifted, replaced by a calm certainty that Gretchen's guidance would always protect those who honor